in the like button.
Street Fighter is all about mashing, so just mash. That's
Yeah.
actually what we're trying to get at with our strategies when we talk about
Like,
it.
comment,
We're just
retweet, reblog, MySpace.
just mash all of your buttons at once, as long as they're all light.
Yes, all the people at home smashing their buttons
Yeah, exactly.
to this live podcast.
Just smash that. Just smash anything. Smash some buttons. I mean, there's a reason why that was like a thing, or
That's a
that's
New
why
York
it's a
thing,
thing.
right?
Yeah, it's a New York thing. It's just like mash some buttons for us, right? Because people love fucking mashing
Yeah,
buttons.
people
It's
like
so
mashing
fun.
buttons.
So why do you think that's why people want to mash 3 frames on wake up? Because it's fun and it's
Yeah.
rewarding, right?
All right, I'll pretty much just start now. So
Yeah.
all right, so just like an introduction, I plan on making this like a New England FGC podcast. I told Draken to do it with me, but we would like love to have other people if they want to come on. Basically, I just think like a lot of times, like New England FGC as a whole is kind of ignored, like in the general like voice of like general FGC. Whereas like if someone from New York complains about something or talks about something, then you'll find it on Event Hubs or Ultra Chain. But people don't really care about us, so like I figured this could be a cool idea, maybe not. Of like, well, there's over 1,000 people in the Facebook group. There's clearly everybody has stuff to talk about, but there's nowhere to really go to like other than Facebook. Talking shit on Facebook. There's no place to go to just like have an open discussion about stuff.
Wait, is your goal to get onto event hubs?
No,
Because you know what they call event hubs.
that is not my goal.
That
is the opposite of my
you
goal.
know it's event scrubs. You know we don't want to get on there.
No, what I'm saying is that Event Hubs is bad because they ignore us. Not that we really like are trying to get on there.
I got you.
And I don't know, and I just like talking about fighting games. That's the only other reason.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. That's basically it for me too. I feel like NEFGC, we've tried podcasts before. They've always been kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't want this to be boring. Like, I'm like not gonna try to be professional at all. I'm just gonna talk about the things I want to talk about and not be like businessy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, so if y'all like this, we'll see if we can get another guest on. But for now, it's just gonna be us, sarcastic motherfuckers that like to have opinions that are, sometimes annoying, but we try to be a little real.
But like, I think it's like a good pairing too, because like you work for, well, not work. You're part of One Frame Link.
Yeah.
And you're definitely of a tech monster. Like, you're like the sort of low key underappreciated version of like Javits.
You're funny.
But like, no, but it's like you don't have like as many followers as him, but then you'll like post some sick tech and get like 1 million likes, but like nobody will follow you for some reason.
Yeah, I just got another 10 this past 24 hours. So there we go. Tech. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like I'm like the complete opposite. Where you're like super techie, I'm more like feel based. Like I don't even really look at frame data much. I just kind of like come up with an idea in my head and try it.
Your heart.
My heart, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a heart player. But basically, the idea I had for the podcast, and I think Jacob said he thought it was a good idea too, was, we could talk about stuff going on within the New England FGC, like what you guys are literally just talking about on Facebook, talking about like what's going on in the FGC in general, and then also like maybe something where we talk about like strategies and stuff of like we're pretty much only Street Fighter guys. I don't know if you would be able to talk strategy about any other game.
No, I could talk about Marvel and I could probably commentate it, but I wouldn't.
That's what would be cool is like if we brought on like someone that really knows Marvel, like then we can just have them go off about it. But so that's the basic idea. I think we're just gonna try to do that today, and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, we'll either change it or just stop doing this altogether. See how depending on how it goes.
Lately, Super John got second at the Balance Patch Weekly. Zaf got first, and that's all because you weren't there, Nick, to hold it down with a Urian. Like, I don't know.
But Urian still got Grand Finals, so all is right in the world.
That's not. You're a fucking liar. That doesn't make anything right in the world, and you know it.
I mean, I can't go every week, but I did hear that. Did you see the tweet they made that they're gonna be having like Red Bull prizes, or did that already happen?
Oh, it already happened. So Balance Patch this Monday. Yeah. So first place got a sweatshirt. Second place got a hat, I believe, a beanie. Oh no. Second place got a shirt, and then third place got a beanie. And it's all
Is
pretty
this
sweet.
for every week or was that just this week?
Every week, and
Oh,
up
that's
until
sick.
the Red Bull Battleground, so it's going to be a few weeks.
Oh
Plus,
my
you
god,
get
I'm gonna
free Red Bull.
stockpile on those shirts.
Yeah, you get free Red Bull um, per person. So, like, there's sugar free and there's normal Red Bull. So, I guess we're sponsored by Red Bull
Are
right
we
here.
sponsored by Red Bull? Did we make
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Eating
we already
sports
made it.
now?
Like, I don't know why we're even having this podcast. We already made it. Red Bull recognized us.
I know.
What else do you need except for Red Bull? You know, they sponsor Snake Eyes, they sponsor what, Daigo? Bonchan. Bonchan.
I mean,
That's
Daigo
not
has like 20 sponsors.
Daigo does have like 20 sponsors. But yeah, I'm a
But
big fan
yeah.
of Super John talking shit.
Yeah, so I don't know. I figured like since like a lot of people on Facebook in the NFGC like to talk shit, I figured we could, I don't know, just have like a section dedicated to talking shit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these guys are just keyboard warriors who don't actually come out to any.
Because dude, like I mean, like bless his heart, Malcolm Strickland. I saw him in there's the big thread where
The 200 comment thread.
this 200 comment thread where Super John is calling out KO, and Malcolm Strickland is like, guys, like, shouldn't we be trying to build the community right now? He's
This
like,
is
shouldn't
how we build the
This is
community.
not
I'm
how we do
sorry.
it, guys. And I'm like, Malcolm, you're in the wrong place, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get off of Facebook if you're trying to talk about that.
Yeah, good luck. On Facebook, it's all about the memes and all about the shit talking.
Yeah, that's
Which
the way
is,
I feel. It is like if we can't stop it, just embrace it.
yeah, as long as it's like actually civil, like this is super tame, you know?
Yeah,
Like
this is. Oh yeah, we're just
there's
talking about characters.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, at worst it's like, oh, you're talking behind my back, but you're talking about the game behind my back, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like I can at least show you who's better. But the thing is with Super John is he isn't like, oh yeah, I'll beat you in a first to 10. He's like, you use Balrog, so I can't beat you. And the great thing about that is he also said that he used Mika season 1, so that's how you know
Oh my
he's good. And I guess Urian isn't. You can't play
I
Urian
know.
Brain Dead. I don't know.
He switches from Mika to Urian, and he's like, "You're playing dishonest characters."
Oh yeah, Mika season 1. You know, she was fair
Yeah.
and balanced, nice and easy.
It would be funny if we brought one of them on here too.
Oh yeah,
We
that'd
just
be
let
really
him
funny.
talk shit. I feel like Super John would talk more shit. KO would just kind of
I feel like it would
ignore.
die down by next week.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it
though,
would
like
die down next week.
I don't
So,
know when the next monthly is.
well,
I
no, but
think
they're gonna have
it's
a what's it called, exhibition.
yeah, but that's why I'm saying like Super John's trying to downplay that exhibition, saying that he's already gonna lose. He already has the OS ready. He already has it
See,
ready.
I don't know if I like that then, because like,
Right? What's the
like
point?
this is
Why?
no, I didn't
Why?
really, I haven't thought about this in depth. So like, this isn't even really a call out then. It's just him saying like Balrog is cheap, and if you play me, I'll lose.
Yes. That's like the tamest stuff I've ever heard. It is
Oh
so
man.
funny. I mean, there's other people who like talk ish on Facebook, but it doesn't actually happen too much lately. And it is more
Yeah, I mean
people who
there's your
show
sums. You
up.
got your Almazes of the world,
He's actually been
your
showing
Pumper
up though,
Jams.
so props to him. Props to
Yeah, he's been
Almaz.
making it out.
Yeah. I
You
did
know,
like
nothing else for a while.
Ramy's comment. So much fake drama. People forgetting that KO won a GU monthly with Birdie. But
That was fake news.
I mean,
He won it
what?
with Balrog.
Yeah. And I
He
feel
played
like
Birdie
GU
like once.
monthlies don't matter anymore.
Damn.
Like
Okay.
nobody actually goes to those for the most part anymore,
It's true
unfortunately.
though. It
Like
is true
it's
though.
cool that you won a monthly, right? But that's different from like Cheeseburger winning the first monthly when there was like 80 people going and everybody was
Yeah,
there,
it's
right?
true.
Like I respect KO. I enjoy his play for the most part, even though he's a random motherfucker. I still don't think that him winning that GU monthly even mattered, unfortunately. It's like
No.
congrats, but I don't
Yeah.
know what barometer I should use for if a player is good.
Yeah, I
Because,
mean, it's hard because you can't just look at it as, oh, I won this tournament. Well, if you're the only entrance, then,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, a baby could win a tournament if there's no entrance. But, like, I don't know. I think it's not a free win for sure.
It
Like, you
wasn't a
can't just
free
go to
win.
a GU
Volcanic
monthly and get a
Akuma
free
was
win.
there.
I think that the way it works nowadays is the competition is just super spread out now. Whereas it
Yeah.
used to just be only GU, and now it's just everywhere. Balance Patch, GU, Platinum City, all these
Yep.
places, the
I
grid.
mean, the nice thing about Balance Patch is we're trying to get everybody there. So we do get people from like PCG and people from like up in Lawrence down to Balance Patch, which is
That's
why I
why we
love
need it
it.
on Fridays.
Yeah, so
Because if we had it on Fridays, we could have literally everybody.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with
It was,
Fridays.
oh, okay. Yeah, to be continued.
To be
Um,
continued. There are talks, but I'm not going to say any more than that.
okay, yeah. Well, Draken's an inside man, so you can trust me to say.
I do help
Uh,
TO.
yeah,
But like, yeah, I agree. It needs to be on Friday, and once it's on Fridays, it's gonna be lit. Like the last time we had it on Friday, it was 100 people showed up.
yeah.
What you don't?
And I
That's
would
not
appreciate.
everybody, but
I want more people for bigger prize pools.
yep, of
I
course.
ain't chilling with this $20 every week. I'm not about that.
Thanks Mondays, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. Like, if you do well in locals, that's cool. But I feel like that doesn't make you good, right? You also need to show that you've done well outside of locals, and like you haven't traveled that much, but like you beat the people who go outside, right? Of
Yeah.
locals. So
Well, that's why I mean, like, because I know Zaf this weekend is going to Canada Cup,
yeah,
which is a move like I respect a lot because it's like if you're even if you win every New England tournament, I don't think that means you're good. I don't think I'm good. I don't even think Zaf's good. I don't think any of us are that good yet.
yeah,
But I think that the only way to get better is to go out and see. Like the only way to know if you're good is to go and see, which is what he's doing. So
yep, yeah, and like you don't even necessarily know matchups if you play the same
exactly.
players with like certain characters in your local scene. Like that doesn't mean you know anything, which is the
Yeah.
sad thing about it. Like not to take anything away from anybody listening who does well in a local scene, it doesn't mean that you actually know anything if you want to get good on a national level, right? W-
Yeah.
But if you want to get good only in a local scene, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with like saying, "Oh, I'm better than these people here."
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with having goals. Like the first time I won a tournament, I was super excited.
Yeah.
There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think the problem becomes when we're trying to make a big deal of it. When we're making our Watch Mojo top 10 lists. Who's the top who's the top in New England? When literally the same three people win every tournament.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, that's pretty much all I have for shit talking.
I mean, shout outs to like Up to Snuff making top 64 at Evo earlier this
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
Like
that was
that's
sick.
legit. That's why
That's
I
sick.
think he is like one of the top 3
Yeah.
players in New England because he's
I've been
he's actually
thinking up to
traveled
stuff.
and done that.
I've been thinking he's the best for a while now.
He learned so quick. Like
Mhm.
I commentated one of his or a couple of his matches down at the grid when I went last Tuesday, and it was a great time. And it's just like you watch him, you see how quickly he learns. He beat Zaf there in grand finals too. He's an amazing
Yeah,
player.
the thing about Steve is he just knows how to play the game like for what it is. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I think that's the thing because like I think Zaf is an amazing player, but sometimes I feel like he's trying to play too clean. Where like because that's the type of player where like he'll try to control the match. Like he doesn't want to just beat you. He wants to beat you from like a place above you. Like he wants to like make you his bitch and then beat you. Whereas up to Snuff's like he just doesn't care. Like he's like I'm just gonna he's like completely is able to randomize his offense and he's able to deal with the inconsistency of the game, which
Yep.
is like you have to know that the game is inconsistent to make it consistent.
Yeah, and he's playing like the perfect character for it too.
Yeah.
Nicoli's just has everything. Nicoli has absolutely everything, which is why I love
Yeah.
Nicoli. It's so fun. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. We'll see if Bounce Patch moves to Friday soon. I really hope so because I do
That would
want
be
more
sick.
competition. I'm
I would
happy to
absolutely
see
love that.
more North Shore boys down in Boston because I saw not just Almas but also Miguel and John down there this past Monday, which was great. And yeah, I just hope it grows. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. So that's all I had to talk about for that. Next thing I wanted to talk about was the new character in Street Fighter.
Yeah,
He
Zeku.
just dropped Zeku, Guy's Master, Strider something. I don't know. I didn't read the story,
Yeah, he's
the
the first
the
strider, I
manga
think.
or whatever. I don't
He-
know. So that's confirmed. He's the first Strider.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
yeah,
Okay, he's the
yeah.
first Strider. If it wasn't obvious enough.
He literally looks like Strider. He
Yeah,
has Graham, he has all the
yeah.
moves.
So and you've been posting tech on Twitter. I played about like last night. I played him for about an hour in training mode. That's it.
Yeah.
I have some basic what's it called impressions. I'm sure you can go more in depth, but the impression I got right off the bat, was that old Zeku seems way better than young Zeku. But that was my initial impression. Could be completely wrong, but I just feel like I don't think old Zeku was like you only have to play old Zeku, but old Zeku has all the aspects to the game that you need. Like he has the DP, he has up close pressure, he has normals, and he has like zoning. Whereas young Zeku to me seems like he's only good in your face. And old Zeku has the Graham, like the kick Graham move, which to me just seems like a better version of Nash Sonic Scythe, because it
Right.
seems like way less committed, because he's hitting you from across screen, but his body itself isn't moving.
Yeah. Yeah, first
So
hour, that's definitely the impression I got. But then I started realizing, like after playing Ed, old Zeku's pressure is just like Ed's pressure, where he can't actually open you up. He does have overhead, which is great, but he can't actually open you up. He can do a medium punch, and that's it. He doesn't have any 5-frame mediums, which is really bad, old Zeku, and he doesn't have any good low confirms, which means you can just like
yeah.
walk back out of all of his pressure, which is completely awful.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I think point blank you always want young Zeku, because
yeah,
young Zeku is always able to convert off of jabs into target combo.
yep,
But I feel like in almost every other situation you might want old Zeku. I mean, the only thing that young Zeku I think has on him is the sweep. Like the fact that he has a sliding sweep, I think is super good.
right.
Like if old Zeku had that, I would think it wouldn't even be close. But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think another thing is that old Zeku, he doesn't really have conversions in neutral. He does have that really good Graham, which is basically like you said, an amazing Nash scythe kick. But young Zeku in neutral, he can convert very well from his mediums into actual combos. So like crashing medium punch is an amazing button for conversions. You can cancel that into a dash, into a sweep, or you can combo that into a shoulder for more damage. His standing medium kick's really good. His sweep, like you said, is it's a slide that just by itself makes it a good sweep. Um, so young Zeku can definitely play some footsies, and then once he's in, his pressure is a lot better than old Zeku, like you said. So I feel like old Zeku kind of occupies mid range to far range. Young Zeku just as comfortably occupies mid range, and even better close range.
close range, yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing I wasn't sure about was the frame data, because I know I barely messed around with it and I haven't looked at the frame data, but I know old Zeku, like stand medium kick, like when you're up close you just use that button, like
Yeah.
because it's plus and it forces stance. That's like, to me that was obvious, but young Zeku I didn't know what is his frame traps. Is it crouch medium punch or something?
So crashing medium punch is actually only +1 on block. Um, but it's so fast. It's like it's 6 frames, but it converts very well into like anything you ever want. And then standing medium, it combos into standing medium punch, which is +8 on hit, and you can also do target combos, and you can also do cancels, and you get a lot of damage from standing medium punch. All of its lights are pretty plus. Um, for old Zeku, the issue with standing medium kick is that like you can't do much off of 2 standing medium kicks, or if you do standing medium kick and a standing medium punch, that's actually not a 3-frame frame trap, it's a 4-frame frame trap. Like I
Mm,
said, he doesn't have any 5-frame medium normals, which makes his frame traps a lot worse.
okay.
But he does have I think it's +3 standing light kick, which is a 5-frame. So a lot of times you'll use that as your frame trap. Unfortunately, it's like it's hard to get any conversions after that. So if the standing light kick is blocked and then you frame trap with standing medium kick or
Yeah, I
standing medium
definitely think
punch.
from when I was messing, I mainly only messed around with old Zeku. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like for him a big part of his game is that crouching fierce punch,
Yeah,
because I don't know how plus it is, but I know it's plus
plus
on
two.
block,
Yeah,
plus two
plus
on
two,
block.
crush counter, 10 frame
And since
startup.
it's a crush counter, like that's all you really need to know. Like if you have a plus on block crush counter,
Yep,
then that's it. You're gonna see Zeku spamming the hell out of that move.
of course.
And so like to me, like his pressure is like not in old Zeku's pressure is gonna be not in your like point blank pressure, but just like neutral pressure,
Yep,
because he can do buttons into EX. I don't know, the up version of Graham, which is plus on block. And then you can do crush fierce, which is a plus on block crush counter, which then you can frame trap with, which I couldn't find a way to combo after it though.
yeah, that's the issue. It's like on hit, I literally found nothing you could do
Yeah,
because of
so it's
pushback.
literally like it's just only for the block pressure, but I
Yep,
mean that's fine.
it's
And
still
he
a
also,
+2 crush counter.
yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Like you're fishing for a counter hit, basically.
Yeah,
Like that's all you want it for. And he has standing fierce, and then you can stance change and you're still plus. Like what? Like was that intentional? I don't know if that was intentional.
well, it feels like Vega's clawless stand fierce claw switch is +1. Same idea.
Is it okay? That's the same
Yeah,
thing then.
same
But
thing.
that seems super good. I mean, it was hard for me to convert. So, like I would do stand fierce, stand switch on hit, and all I could do was like jab into Hosanto, and then you could do like a palm after.
Yeah, like that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's just two different characters slapped into one with a stance switch.
All the
Because
weaknesses of one, the other one has it, which you
yeah,
would think, in theory, this character is the best character in the game. But the problem is like, oh, one version has an invincible DP, one of them has a three
three
frame
frame.
jab, but you
Yeah,
can't always have both of them at the same time.
right.
So it's like, oh, I want this person to get off me, I want a DP. But if you're young Zeku when you get knocked down, you can't just switch while you're on the ground.
Right. Fortunately, it does seem like the stance switch is pretty quick,
Oh,
which is
it's like
nice, and you can
instant.
cancel into it. It's like even though you could probably do like fake frame traps, just like you could with Vega with the stance switch, because it's so quick. It's so hard to see.
Well, I bet at the very least you could make it safe. I don't know, like I haven't tested this at all, but you could probably
Yeah,
just in neutral do a button stance switch, like cancel. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
But
definitely need
not
to
many of
see,
his buttons are like his crouching medium kicks. Neither of them are cancelable.
which is so
Uh,
annoying. It's so
his
annoying.
old Zeku's crouch medium punch is a really good poke, but that's not cancelable.
Right.
Um, but I mean, in general, I think he's gonna be a good character.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Um, the, oh, yeah, he gets three frame jab. That's young Zeku, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But the one thing I wanted to point out that you told me, which I saw this on Twitter before, was that I forget which form it is, but like he has like a different back roll or something like
Yeah.
that.
So young Zeku just has a slower back roll than the rest of the cast, or back tech. So it's actually 10 frames difference between his quick rise and his back tech. So if you have a meaty that works on both quick rise and back tech, then you need to change it up for young Zeku specifically. Not old Zeku, only young Zeku.
And so it's normally 4 frames, right?
It's normally 5. Oh,
Oh, and
so
wait,
normally
what?
you need a 4 frame active normal to beat something that's a 3 frame jab on wake up for both quick rise and back rise. You need a 4 frame normal.
Yeah.
So in this case, you could probably figure out meaty specifically for young Zeku.
Wait, so would you
But
need a more active normal now? Would you need like a
there's
5 active
there's
frame?
a I think there's next to zero normals. There are zero normals that will
That'll
ever
cover it.
cover both except for a slide.
So maybe like
Or Ed Sweep. Ed Sweep will cover it.
yes, it'll cover.
It will
It'll cover if
cover it.
there's a 10 frame difference, it'll cover it. They'll just
Exactly.
stick it out there and freeze frame. But
Ah,
the one thing I was curious about when I heard about this was one, it could be an accident, but the other thing is
yeah.
like what if this is for arcade edition? Like what if this is a sign of what's to come? And like maybe
Yep.
they because it's weird that only young Zeku has it, which makes me think like they were testing maybe internally and they just took it off of old Zeku but not young Zeku.
Right. They just
Maybe.
forgot.
Because if you think about it, like one of the biggest problems people have with this game is how oppressive the offense is. But
Yep.
if you make it, if they change the way wake up timings work, where it's kind of hard to get manually timed meaties consistently, because currently you can, due to the, like you said, 4 active frame normals can cover both wake ups. If they change it so that you can't do that, then the wake up jab is going to become way more apparent, which is just going to mean people are going to go for less meaties, which might, in theory, perhaps fix the problem. I don't know what you think.
I think I think every character should have different wake up timings. And I think that'd be pretty controversial, but it would definitely solve the issue of like how oppressive offense is in this game, at least in the short term. The issue is that that just means it's more of a burden on players to figure out meaty timings for each individual character. But I think that's also a good thing. It adds a little technique to your
There's
game.
one thing I thought about when this whole thing came up. I was like, what if they made random timings? That would really make it impossible. Like,
Mm.
if every time you got up, it was random,
I'm
like
not a
how
fan
long
of
it took.
randomness in fighting games, though.
I'm not either. But the thing is I'm in the minority. I think all media should be removed, or most media should be removed. So I feel like if you made random tech timings, it would be other than hard knockdowns. So that way you'd get meaties off of like throws, and then other than that, you just have to like manually time it.
Well, that's just why I think there should be very different tech timings for each
Yeah,
character to make it so
yeah, we
like
could accomplish the same thing.
yeah, you can do it. It's just like the burdens is so high on you to know all of your meaties that it's just like not really viable to learn. So you have to back off.
Yeah. But wait, only other question I had about Zeku was how good are his anti-airs? Because I couldn't find good ones.
Old Zeku, they're excellent because he has a DP that is a true anti-air, so it's invincible to jump ins. I forget which DP that is, but
uh,
he also has EXDP.
oh, so even non-EXDP is an anti-air.
Yes, and
Oh,
he
okay,
also has
that's a
crouching
really good
high
one.
punch, which is an excellent anti-air. I think standing light punch isn't bad. Standing high kick is pretty good too.
I know young Zeku has anti-air jab.
Yeah,
I don't know
young
if old
Zeku
Zeku
does have
does.
anti-air jab. Otherwise, I don't think his anti-airs are that good. Um, but if you have anti-air jab, that's probably good enough. He also has slide, so you can get under, you know. So
Oh,
that's
and
fine.
also, I remember because you posted, a lot of people have been posting the tech where you do in the corner with old Zeku, you
Yeah.
do, the combo where you launch him in the air with the up sword kick, and then you do straight sword kick, and then you do
Yeah, backwards gram.
another up sword, yeah, backwards gram.
Yep.
And you'll hit meaty both wake ups, but you can do a similar thing you can do to Urian's headbutt, where people know like Urian's headbutt can hit meaty. That's actually completely not real because you can just wake
Yeah.
up crouching jab and beat it. I don't know why people still don't know that, but
Yeah. No, they know. I think a lot of the higher level players know, but it's just so hard to see that it's not really worth it, right? Because if they do, so if Zeku does an actual meaty with like crouching high punch, you'll get crush counted if you try to do that crouching normal. But if he does the gram, then if you do the crouching normal, of course he gets hit. But if you don't, then he's super plus because it hits on the first frame of your wake up. So even if you're trying to crouch and you don't press the normal button, you'll still be blocking that backwards gram. It's just
yeah,
like Yuri and headbutt, just like you said.
and it's still good. Like even if people
Still
know
good.
the counter to it, like I mean, then they can just mix it up and crush counter you. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
yeah, exactly. So for Zeku, that would be crouching high punch.
yeah, and so like I feel like either way, it's still really strong. Like to have that consistent of a meaty is really scary in this game,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and
It's it's great. Like that's
that could be dangerous.
it's so cool. It's so plus. That's why I
It
like.
looks cool. Like I like it visually. Like when like he already has done the full kick and then you see the blocks done,
Yep,
like for the back roll.
yep, it's great. And like I said earlier, young Zeku 3-frame wake up jab, and like it's just the crouching one, but it does combo into the standing one, which then combos into his target combo, which is just excellent. It's exactly what I want to see in any character in the game. Especially with
Yeah.
him having a slower back tech. Good luck meeting me, Nick.
Oh my god.
You're
Oh,
never gonna meet me.
dude,
You
young
barely could
Zeku.
do it
I just
before.
realized young Zeku online is gonna be terrible.
It's gonna be OP. You better always back off every single
Oh, I'm
time.
not gonna meet him a single time. But
Never, ever, ever. You'll try it tonight.
yeah, I'll try, and it's
When
not
we
gonna
play at
work.
casuals. It's gonna be great. Um, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
like
and there's other things about Zeku that are definitely different from the way a lot of the cast works. Like like if you old Zeku, if you get a crush counter stand roundhouse, all you can get is a dash up jab afterwards. Which to me is thinking, okay, well, if this is their most recent character, maybe in the future, you won't be able to get crush counter into dash up fierce or something.
if the stand roundhouse is close for old Zeku, then you can actually just do a walk up crouching high punch and you'll get way
Yes, no,
more
I knew
damage.
that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can if it's like point blank, but I meant like if you're far away.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which is good. I think like most crush counters, honestly, you shouldn't even get a dash up after. But if they change it to
Yeah.
everybody only gets like a dash up light, I think that's great. I'd be happy with
Yeah,
that.
not for sure. And they're
Except
like,
Ibuki, who would get like standing high kick, dash up, light, medium, heavy anyway.
yeah, I know. Buki's always the exception.
Mm.
But yeah, that's unless you had something else to say, that's all I had to talk about for Zeku. I'm just curious what he is going to turn out to be.
I think his 3-frame jab will make him a lot better than he would have been otherwise.
You just go to the bathroom in your head, you're just thinking about jabs.
Yo, I just walk around like my finger twitches. Like I get up, I feel like I need to hit something. It's really
You're
bad
like,
for my
I haven't a
boyfriend.
jab in like 10 minutes.
It's
Like
like
those people that haven't told people they vape. Like, I haven't jabbed in 10 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, that was the first idea I had for name of the. I
I
basically just
love
because I'm
wake
doing
up
it with
jab.
you. Just
Yeah.
because I'm doing it with you, I was like, all right, because one of the ideas I had for the podcast was I think I already said it. Where like part of the section we could talk about analysis, like strategy and maybe match videos or something.
Yeah.
And so I figured, all right, if this is the first episode, and we're gonna be talking about like strategy or whatever, and if it's called the wake up jab, I figured they might as well do wake up jab as the first one, just because like you can't do a podcast with Drake and not think of wake up jab. Like if you play against this guy, you'll know. Like that's because like I said, they're okay. So just to start to get into the wake up jab, and I want to just completely tear it apart, and you're probably gonna defend it. So the way in my head, there are three reasons to use a wake up jab. The one is because you think they're gonna mistime their meaty, and so you're gonna wake up jab and counter hit them. Two is because they think or you think they're gonna bait a DP, so you wake up jab because you think they're gonna do nothing. And 3, which is my favorite, is they do it just because they feel like it, and they just hope it works. Which is Draken is in a unique spot because he does wake up jab for all 3 of those reasons. And he'll do them like there needs to be like a counter on the bottom of the screen for how many wake up jabs this man does.
Yeah, that's
But
very true. Those are the reasons I do it. It's like a lot of times, even if I think you're gonna you're gonna hit your meaty, I don't really care because if I'm playing somebody like a Buki, the reward is just too high. It's just
and it's
way too
funny.
high.
It's funny because you a lot of times you know it's not gonna work and you still do it. Like I can see you mash and wake up jab. I set up my meaty that accounts for both wake ups, and
I'll
then
still do it.
you're still mash and wake up jab. You get counter, and you're like, yeah, well, of course. And then you get Aegis reflected, and then you move on.
Yeah, it's like it's all right. It's all right
But
because
like
the
if you
one
play
time
that
that you
type
mess
of
it
way,
up.
like it's definitely a psychological game. Like
Yeah.
it gets in people's head if you keep wake up jabbing. But if you wanna break down the actual strategy of wake up jab, in my opinion, in the long run, it's a pretty terrible strategy. And I barely wake up jab, but I think it does have its uses. Although I think it's being replaced by wake up backdash,
Yeah.
or delay backdash, which
Yeah.
is what I use instead. But the thing about wake up jab is the most I think the best time to use a wake up jab is in a situation where they get you in some sort of awkward knockdown situation where
Yep, those are
like
my favorite.
like you're hit into a juggle that you can tell they improvised on the fly, so they're gonna have to manually time their meaty. And so in that situation, sometimes it's worth it to just wake up jab because you're basically just betting the farm that they're not going to be able to hit their meaty correctly.
Yeah, that's definitely the best situation. I think that's easily my favorite. If I feel like they messed it up slightly and I probably know most setups in the game, then I'll definitely press 3 frame there. And or a wake up jab. And I feel like most players will do that too because it's just the reward's really high. The chance of you messing up your meaty is pretty high. Um, because you only have a couple frames of leeway there. If
Well, I
you
mean, the reward depends on your character, I think.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
if
for
you're
sure. I'm talking about a Buki. But if it was like Ed or something, like you said, I'd rather just backdash out.
yeah.
Right? If I'm Choline, I'd rather just backdash out. If I'm Cammy, either or. Either or. But if I'm Urian, I feel like you have
I
a four
yeah.
frame, so it's kind of scary. But I've
Yeah, that's
definitely
the
seen
main
you
reason why
press a
I
light
don't
punch in that
generally wake up.
situation.
Yeah. I think the superior strategy to wake up jab, which is the strategy that people should use, which a lot of top players use that people don't even realize they're using, is just delay jab.
Delay jab's so good.
But what I like to do instead is just delay backdash.
Yep.
Um, but basically, delay jab is good because if they don't know you're doing it, you can do it infinitely.
Yep.
Like you can do it every time you get knocked down, every single time. And if they don't know you're doing it, it'll work every single time. And it like a lot of people, like I know Kevin Tech does this a lot.
Constantly.
He's constantly doing that, and like, you know what I mean. He thinks you don't know.
Yeah,
Like
so
he
like
thinks
if
he's
you're
getting one on you.
For sure, if you're having issues in this game on defense and you're like, I can't delay tech because I just get shimmied all the time. Your answer is delay jab. Your answer for 90% of players is delay jab because most players don't know how to deal with that. It's really good. Even if you don't get much reward off of it, it stops pressure, it resets the situation, and you'll be plus. Your your
Yeah,
your jab is going to be plus.
and if people don't know what delay jab like is, because everybody knows what wake up jab is, it's basically you block for like the first frame or two on your wake up, and then you jab. So if they meet you, you're gonna be blocking for the first frame or two. But if they do nothing, say they bait a DP, your jab will come out then. Um,
And if you
and
get thrown, no
so
big deal.
and if you get thrown, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just a better version of delay teching. Excuse me. Because and sometimes if they'll go for a delay tech, your delay jab will just beat them.
Yeah.
Like especially if you
Yeah.
have a 3 frame jab. So it's definitely a good strategy, but it can be exploited really heavily. I think the biggest ways to counter it is you either just crush counter them. You're like, okay, you're gonna delay a frame, so I'm just gonna wait a tad second and I'm gonna roundhouse you in the face. Or what you can do is you could meaty throw them, like immediate throw, because if they're delayed jabbing, they're not teching. Or the other thing you can do, which is the safest, I call this the Momochi option, because if you watch him, he does this all the time, is he'll just delay meaty you outside of your wake up jab range. So
Oh
like
yeah.
he'll stand outside your wake up jab range, so you'll whiff a jab and then he'll crouch medium punch you. And that accounts for everything. That accounts for if you late tech because he'll be outside your range. If you wake up DP, he'll be blocking for the first frame because he's the one. So those are the main counters to it, but still, it's a really strong option, I think.
Yeah. So the lesson is jab.
Yes.
Either
In
learn to wake
conclusion.
up, either learn when to wake up jab, whether it's like, actually on your wake up or if it's in a weird reset scramble situation, or block for a couple frames, then jab.
Then jab.
It's so good in this game, and that's one of the things that
But
frustrates me about
the reason
5.
it's good is because of how bad the defense is.
Exactly.
Like
Like
if V reversal was good, people would just V reverse.
yeah, if they took out jump back OS, which was a awesome defensive mechanic that was universal to the whole cast. Like I loved jump back OS because if you punished that, it was hype. But if you couldn't punish it, it was good. It was good. It was a great defensive option that covered
Yeah,
both
and like there
tech
were
and
actual option
blocking.
selects like
Yeah,
for once because like people would whiff throw, see you jump back, and then they'd get this big punish, and it was like really cool.
but Capcom wants this apparently to be a big offensive
I mean, if this
whatever.
whole young Zeku different tech roll timing is here to stay, then Wake Up Jab's getting huge buff. I'm buying Wake Up Jab stock if that
You
is
should
what's
always
happening.
buy Wake Up Jab
I should
stock.
always buy Wake Up Jab.
Should always buy it. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. I really hope that is not just a bug and it's indicative of what's going to happen for season 3.
I think if there are no defensive changes or offensive nerfs in season 3, then the game won't really change at all. I don't
Yeah,
care
for
how
sure.
many V triggers you have. If you have 10 V triggers,
Yeah.
it's not going to change the way the game works.
V triggers don't matter that much when it
Yeah.
comes to before V triggers happen, the game is still dictated a lot by crush counters, I think, but once V
Oh
triggers
yeah, and we
happen, then
can
it's
do.
all
I
about V
definitely think
trigger.
we need to do a whole episode
Yeah, we'll see.
on crush counters because I have a lot to say about those moves.
I agree. But yeah, wake up jab, buy into the stock.
Yes, buy the stock, buy Wake Up Jab stock. But I think for strategy, that's all I got.
Yep. Same.
So yeah, I think this was like a good trial run. I think for like a first podcast. I'm curious to know what like other people think. If they think we suck, then if everybody unanimously agrees we suck, all right, we'll just stop and talk amongst ourselves. Then if you guys don't want to hear it, we're not going to force our voices into your ears, I guess you could say. But if you do want to hear more, one of the main reasons I wanted to do this was to give the things that you guys are curious about like a voice, I guess. So you could, give us things you want to talk about or you want us to talk about, or you could come talk with us.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this first Wake Up Jab podcast. Is what it's called. We need to get a
Love it.
we need to get like a jingle.
Oh, we do. We'll figure out some kind of sound effect. We'll do it.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, thanks,
like,
guys.
comment, subscribe.
Yep. Smash the like button.
Smash it.
Mash it. Yeah. Mash the jab. Bye.